Go. Just get. I did get ready for the show. I didn't say lick my face off. What's wrong with you, you crazy nut? You need to get show ready. You ain't show ready yet. Daggone. Okay, I promise I won't tell nobody that you brought a dead squirrel home. I promise. I made you that promise, and I'll keep that promise. My promise is my word. You ready to do show? Okay, let's go. You ready? We'll go mudding. Yeah, we're going mudding. Let's do it. Okay. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Muddin and Beags, episode 32. We're ready to go. Ready to do some mudding. Muddin's riled up, ready to go. And he has got his fancy fur on. He's ready to do the show. He wants to show you his lion face. He shoots lion face. Shoots up. Lion face. Oh, that might have been it. May have been Asian dog. I don't know what that was. All right, you ready to do the show? Okay, come on. Let's get into the show. Woo-wee. All right. We're Sunday night. We're ready to rock and roll. Okie dokie. So I was looking back over some of my notes this week, and I thought I'd take a kind of a gander back at the Viaducts of Atlanta video and see kind of what I did there, because it's been a long time since I've done that, and a long time since I've watched it. And a lot of you have been begging for that a follow-up video to that ever since I did the first one. And I've been collecting data on that for all that time since I dropped that video, and I've been piecing things together and collecting new material, and the plan was always to do Viaducts again, and go deeper, but you know, one thing leads to another, and time gets on, and then recently, the past probably year, I've been kind of waiting on a documentary to come out for some research that I'm doing, and they finally dropped the documentary, and I was actually disappointed. It didn't, it was on a specific location in the Atlanta Underground, and I was hoping that I could answer some of the questions that I had by watching that documentary. Unfortunately, it did not. After watching the documentary, it did not answer the questions I needed to answer. It pertained more to just kind of the culture and the lifestyle and the people. It really left nothing on the table for what I was looking for, so I was really disappointed. That being said, after going back and reviewing, I didn't watch the Viaducts video. I just skimmed through it, because what I wanted to know is, I wanted to know what I showed you and what I didn't. And I realized very quickly, would you zip it? Just zip, just take a big old cup of zip, shut up. Thank you. And so what I realized very quickly, hey GT, how you doing? Welcome hippie, how you doing? What I realized was that I ain't showed y'all shit yet, and I didn't realize that. I thought I had laid it out pretty good. I didn't realize how much I had found since dropping that video. I'm going to go ahead and start working on putting together a new Viaducts of Atlanta video. I think it's time. So I'm just putting that out there, and I just wanted you guys to be the first to know, because when that does drop, it will be pretty big. So let's get through with the pleasantries, and we'll be right back.
You think you know me? You think you know my struggles, my pain, my journey? Let me tell you something. Don't judge me by what you see or hear. I didn't walk this path to impress anyone. People love to point fingers, to act like they know everything. They don't know my story. You don't know what I had to sacrifice, because everything I've become was built from battles you never saw.
Okie dokie. So, I was looking into. I've collected some a large folder of photographs that we're going to go through tonight. We're going to do a little something different tonight. Um, but to begin with, I'm going to show you a different set of pictures real quick. Um, my theory on the World's Fairs is as follows, and I know that this is a little bit complicated to understand, and I don't know if I'm being clear because it is such a kind of a strange concept. But my idea of the World's Fairs is that we found them. We found the World's Fair sites. I believe that they were in the middle of being constructed in a lot of places, that we had to finish them out. Um, I think that um, they weren't having one World's Fair here and then having another World's Fair there at the time that this past reset happened. I think they were preparing for a literal World's Fair to where they had World's Fair locations, exhibition locations set up worldwide so that the entire world could participate. I'm talking about one big ass fair with many locations. At this point, I do not know how many locations. And one thing that's on my list of things to do when I finally figure out how to find more time to do things I want to do is to create a master list of World's Fairs and exhibitions between a certain time period. And because I believe all of them were around at one time. I don't think they were built at different times. I think they were all around. I think they were finished at different times to give the appearance that they were having different World's Fairs in different locations. And so, anyways, on a whim, I just went and searched I put in World's Fair Japan, and lo and behold, there was a World's Fair in Japan. And so I'm going to share a little bit of that now. Wait for this to get up here. And I think this is just more evidence pointing to my theory. Welcome, Teresa Gregory. How you doing? Welcome, Kathy Broughton. What's up, Sig? Oh, and just a FYI, it's been a couple weeks since we did a Mudflood flash mob. So this week, time permitting, and hopefully things go as planned, there'll be a pop-up Mudflood flash mob this week. So be looking for that. Welcome, Kim Ray. Okay, so here's the wiki page on what's called the National Industrial Exhibitions. All right, here, babe. Here, hold on. Let me give Numbnuts here some biscuits so he'll shut up because you want to double paw it? Here you go. Here you go. You can double paw it. Mississippi gets on you if I don't give you two. Hey, blame it on Hippie, get off my shoulders. Okay, so National Industrial Exhibitions. This is in China, not China, Japan. Oh, there was some in China too. That's another story, but that's a different area. So, anyways, they did quite a few of these: first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and then it looks like there was subsequent exhibitions. But these first five are what I'm interested in here. But the one that popped right up, and I'm going to show you pictures of here real quick to kind of wet our whistle for tonight, is the 1903 National Industrial Exhibitions, and it's the fifth of these. So this is a Japanese, a World's Fair that was held in Japan. And I'm sorry, but, we're talking the same stuff. I'm going to blast through these, but give you a little taste here. You got this beautiful fountain. It looks like dragons coming off of there. You got the Antiquitech, the architectural urns, the Phoenician shell, Uh, let's see. Got the finial up on the top. Big arches. There's your triple arch. You know, that's basically a triumphant arch. Here's another image. Portholes, ether finials, Phoenician shells, more portholes. There's an ether finial right there. Uh, Antennas. All right, there you go. I mean, you know, this was world class. I mean, this was just as good as the stuff we did, supposedly. I mean, you know, this is top notch. Now, there's not a lot of pictures from this World's Fair, so you know, there's just not a lot of good imagery. But this is the layout of their fair, and this is no small thing. This is real deal World's Fair stuff. I mean, this is respectable. In 1903, in Japan, you know, are these structures temporary? I don't know. Um, you know, I don't have enough information, and I definitely don't have enough pictures. Check out these ether finials at their cresting fencing up there. Little ether antennas all the way across. So, you know, I'm impressed. Um, I think it's quite beautiful. You know, they had knob and tube wiring, so they had electric. Um, you know, I have to say I'm impressed. And now y'all may have heard of this before. This World's Fair, I'd never heard of this one. Um, that kind of looks like a circumpunct, the original symbol for the creator. You got a stone ball finial. You got ether finial up here. Selling the globe right here. You got to sell the globe when you live on a flat Earth. And I've learned that the terminology for flat earthers in the communities that feel that we're crazy is flurf or flurfer. So I'm a tried and true, damn proud flurf. And if you're a flat earther, that's what you are too. So welcome flurfs and flurfers. Got a ye old ladder lean over here for Douglas of UAP channel. Seems to be one of the last few hideouts that hasn't gone melt tart on us. There's not too many of you left. There's the pickings are getting slim, so pretty soon all you're going to have is Mudflood / Meltology channels. And just so you know, the Etherfinial, the Meltologists are diehard. There was no Mudflood, so you're going to have to give up your Mudflood if you go towards Meltology, or you're not going to be able to be part of their little clique. So, you know, if you go over to the dark side, you know, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. You'll just have to give up, you know, Mudflood to play in the Melt. And that's just the way it is. I didn't make the rules. I mean, over here we can have both. We can have Meltology and Mudflood, you know, because we have the ability to think outside the box. But this is amazing to me. I don't know. I'm impressed. I know these aren't the best pictures. That's not the point. I'm just wetting your whistle for what we're going to do tonight. You know, I'm warming up the oven, so to speak. Check out that Etherfinial up there. Just really cool. Just really cool. So, anyways, all right. So that is the end of that. So, I hope you like that. Do. Okie dokie. All right. So, how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing tonight? Oh, hold on a second. Okay. What's going on here, guys? Can y'all see me now? Can y'all see me? I don't know what's happening here. Can you see me now? I don't know what's going on here. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Can you see me? I couldn't see any of the pictures. Okay, that's odd. Okay, all right, I don't know. StreamYard. Okay, you can see. Okay, all right, let's try. I don't know. All right, well, we'll just skip on ahead then. I'm not gonna go backwards. Um, uh, StreamYard has just gone to absolute shit, y'all. I don't know what the world's wrong with them. Um, okay, I'm gonna try. Let's try this again. Beagle, hush now. You're getting on my nerves. Okay. Now I'm seeing it on my screen. I'm seeing it on my screen. Are y'all not seeing it? And I'm going back. I look back. I'm looking back at this show, and it was not show. I don't know why it was. That's a StreamYard thing. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, well, we're gonna move on. That's StreamYard, asshole. Okay, we'll just do that another time. All right, y'all just gonna have to wet your own whistle on that one. Construction. Okay, we're gonna go look at the World's Columbian Exhibition in Chicago in 1893, and the reason we're gonna do this is because um, I was told recently that there's plenty of evidence that we built that. So whenever somebody basically says there's nothing to see here, move along, that's when I go look. So we're gonna go look. And that's going to be that. So welcome New West Reset, and welcome Bernie Monroe. And I'm just checking to see who else is hanging out here. And okay, so we're good to go now. Sorry about that, folks. I don't know what the hell happened. If we have time later, I'll share what I was showing. Okay, construction of the 1893 World's Columbian Exhibition in Chicago began in earnest in January 1891. With official groundbreaking in February 1891 on the 600-acre swampland of Jackson Park. So they're going to build a World's Fair on a swampland, and if you've ever done any construction on swamplands, you know that sucks basically ass. You have to fill it in, and you have to drain the swamp, fill it in with dirt, and they'll tell you they built it on pylons and all kinds of crazy stuff, which back then to put in pylons into the ground, I can't even imagine how difficult that was without, the machinery we have today. The massive project required over 40,000 workers to transform the site roughly 18 months. So they built this site. They drained the swamp, filled the swamp up, put pylons in, built on the swamp, built all the structures, did all the facades of the structures, did all the landscaping, and painted, whitewashed the structures within 18 months in 1891 with no electrical, power tools and all that shit. And then somehow, some way, they gained some, looks like some power, but they didn't have what we have now. I mean, even though they had electricity, they just didn't have much. They might have been able to run some key things. But it's not like everybody's running around with a drill and a jackhammer and all this stuff. They didn't have the tools we have now. That being said, they did have tools. It's just you can't compare it to today. There's no way to. The 1893 World's Columbian Exhibition opened in Chicago Jackson Park on May 1st, 1893, attracting nearly 400,000 visitors on the first day. President Grover Cleveland officially opened the fair at 12:08. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Okay, so that being said, let's get into the pictures. Let's get into the nuts and bolts, nooks and crannies. I'm just going to blast through these, y'all, because I got 450 of them. Boobahs. We're going to blast through these. This looks like something they're building as making as a facade, which would, you can clearly see this is temporary. And to be quite honest, it's not very good art. Look at the proportion of the woman. Like her hand looks too big to me. Her foot looks way too big. So he's not the best artist in the world. And that's just an opinion. You may think he's the greatest. And we got Fred over here and his cohort there. This is just a weird photo I found. It's just kind of weird. It's got this almost drawn look to it. Almost like it's either a drawing or like this guy doesn't look like he's actually there. It just kind of looks very strange. It could be one of these half pictures, half drawings, because it looks more drawn at the top here than it does at the bottom. You notice there's a train right here, so they can bring things right up to the job site, which is great, except you still have to get it off the train and you still have to move it into the building or around the building or up on top of the building. Okay, here's the job site that they're working with. Now, this is all fine and dandy. We've got pictures of a job site that's cleared off and swamp and all this stuff. But the truth is that I have no idea where this is. They tell you this is the actual location. But, do we actually have proof of these pictures being the location they say it is? I don't know. I mean, maybe, could be, but it could be, right down the street from my house. I don't know. Where's the, I don't see anything there that's helping me. So I'm going to blast through these. I've seen a lot of job sites. There's the pylons. I can't even imagine how hard those were to put in. I doubt they're going to show any equipment how they put it in. So that's what they're building. Putting the pylons in over the swamp. Okay, so we're going to get into some meat and taters here. So I'm just going to blast through these, y'all. Got a lot to show, so buckle up. Got an obelisk there. Got the Phoenician boats going through the obelisk. Check out this thing right here. This thing's really cool. This ship, it's not actually a ship. You'll see later. It's actually, I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's just kind of cool. Frisian cap. Got the eagle representing the phoenix. Very phoenixy looking to me, but alrighty. Here's another job site photo. Got Fred out here plowing the fields. I don't see 40,000 workers. Looking at this picture, I see people back here and over here and over here. There's over there, there. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen more people on a subdivision build than I see in that picture. Small, let's say 20 house subdivision. So, 40,000, I don't know. I'm not seeing 40,000. I'm not saying there weren't 40,000. Now, this location, is this the location? I don't know. I have no way of knowing if this is actually the location. Are these real photographs? Yes. Are they photographs of a lot of lumber? Yes. Are they photographs with train tracks? Yes. Is this the site of the World's Fair? I don't know. Were the photos found that were taken of the World's Fair site while they were building it before the reset, and then they just found the photos? That's a good question. That's a question that I can't answer, but it's a possibility. So by saying, oh, we have construction photos, does not mean they're actually construction photos of us building them. So that's false. Now, I'm not saying that I'm correct. I'm just saying there's something else. Some of these people just don't look, I don't know, they just don't look real. They just have this weird look to them. I would not doubt they did some photo manipulation. Now, these are not glass plate negatives. These are like second generation prints from the glass plate negatives that were taken. So you're not going to get the quality. And another thing, you're going to see a ton of flat Earth asterisks everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. They're in this picture, but they're hard to see. All these windows are flat Earth asterisks, but you will see them as time goes forward. Welcome, Odin's Raiden. How's it going? Welcome, Virginia. GT still hanging with us. 6R, you being good? This lady's just plumb tuckered out here. This must be some sort of art exhibit. Now, the craftsmanship is it's very nice, but it's also not top quality. And it takes a little bit of effort to see how it's not top quality. But you'll see it more on the outside than you will on the inside. This one's a really cool picture. Got Tartarian lion. And this is really interesting. Look at how beat up it is right here. Acantha sleeves. And this thing is just, really beat. What does that mean? I don't know. Like, look right there. You got the old glass, you got the oily look. These statues are nice, but if you look close, they're not well made. So look close at these statues like this. They're not as nice as they look. They're deceiving. I think they were crudely made. Look at that right there. Look at the damage right there. What does that mean? I don't know. That's kind of weird. Is Haha with us? Is that a green man Haha? That's pretty wild right there. Cymatic-y looking. Vesica Pisces, diamond symbology. Taurus field. That's wild. All right, moving on. Looks like they're doing these blocks here for a foundation. But is this the World's Fair site? I don't know. I don't have any evidence that is actually the World's Fair site. I don't know that. Could be. And is this a photo from 1891 or 92 or 93? I don't know. It could have been taken in 1700s. How do I know? I don't know. They could have even taken a glass plate negative and added the people into it. These people may not even be in this photo. They could easily manipulate these photos and just add them in there. Woo, buttons aren't toys. Okay, so here is the that ship I was telling you about. This is while it's under construction, and that ship is entirely made of brick. Well, at least the bottom half. I don't know about the top half. think the top half might be wood with the plaster crap or whatever the hell they used. So yeah, I mean that's kind of weird. Why would you do that like that? I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Like, I mean, why? I don't know. It's just kind of odd to me. I have to say why would you like look at the cannons, how they're made, how chintzy they are, and then you make the foundation of the boat like pure brick. I mean, what? That's just very strange. Okay, got some Tartarian lions, and they had different, I believe, different languages on each side of this obelisk. Got a ladder lean for Douglas up there. Gonna see a lot of ladder leans. These towers. Eagle representing the phoenix on a ball. Mechanical arts building. All right. And yeah, I got a lot of wood here, which is really nice wood actually. And I've got scaffolding up. But who's to say that this is not an older photo, or that this is not us finishing out something that we found that was in the process of being made. They could have easily added that horse van right there. This is some sort of I believe what electrical maybe, or for steam power, maybe steam power. I think that's steam, because I think these big pipes are steam, but I'm not a steam person. So yeah, they got little cartouches down there on the side. That's kind of cool. And like, look at this dude. Like, where's his eyes? That's a little weird. Maybe he's got glasses on and it fades out or something. I don't know. It's just weird looking. And I'm sorry, they might have facaded the building with temporary stuff, but that steel right there, that structure, there ain't nothing temporary about that. That's real deal, solid, meant to last. Got a part of the job site. I think they did also build things. This right here is clearly construction. Look like they're doing balloon framing with very large timber. This look like almost 6x6s. Jeez. I'd be interested to know if they were lime soaked. I mean, this steel work is top notch. Look at that thing. Like, how in the hell did they get that in the air? I don't know. In that time, I don't know. Hoisting is some sort of mess, and I think they use this contraption, this wood contraption here, and then pulley systems. But man, that's sketchy. How you would accomplish that, I don't know. It looks like got him a nightstick. He's a lawman, a law dog. And you just got random people just standing around doing nothing for some reason. Got this weird doodad on the ground here. Not sure what that's for. Got some mud built up here. You can see, the temporariness at the very bottoms. So that's somewhere to pay attention to. That's the outside of these buildings. Now, some of these buildings, at these World's Fairs, now each World's Fair is different. Now, you got to understand, you got to take them each individually, because some of these World's Fairs had actual real deal buildings. So some of the buildings, and it's confusing which ones are which, portholes. 1893 on the cartouche. You know, it's very interesting how in the hell they made all of this facading here, you know, out of that temporary materials. Is very strange. These doors look odd. I don't know. They just don't look right. Look how tall the door is. Like, why do you need a door that tall? It doesn't make sense. Got some sort of, maybe a fountain. Yeah, a fountain there. There's a little coffin cartouche. Something on the cartouche. Can't see it though. Taurus fields. Eagle representing the phoenix. There's your phoenix. Very cool. Interesting tile work. Look at that building in the background there. Alrighty. See, they got a brick floor. I wonder if that's a boiler or a, I don't know, it must be a boiler. I'm guessing a boiler. I don't know. Yeah, he's got a board job. Yeah, he's not happy. Yeah, I think those are boilers. Those look like steam pipes to me. Arc lights. Steam and boiler works. Ha! That's a pretty good guess, Biggs. Yeah. Good job. Let's see. You got these street lamps kind of randomly put in the middle of everything. Lower leap control. People just randomly sitting here in wheelchairs. Got our top hat boss man over here. Got old Columbus over here, spitting out that horseshit narrative. No, Columbus didn't discover America, and he knew where he was going. He was told where to go and how to get there. He had maps. He was allowed to, you know, go over there and come over here and present this new land and open it up to the people. Got a ye old ladder lean there for Douglas. World Columbian Exhibition. It's pretty wild. Got a flat earth asterisk right there. That's pretty cool. That's a little circumpunct. Well, it's a grinding wheel, yeah. Still a circumpunct. Things can be multiple things. Vescopices, acanthus leaves. That's pretty. But you see, it's not the best quality. If like you look close, the quality is not like marble or something where they've carved it out. It's shoddily done. And the question is, you know, kind of like who, like the molds, like, you know what I'm kind of wondering is if there's a flat earth asterisk right there. It reminds me of the Oddfellows chain right there. The 3 linked Oddfellows. Kind of interesting. All right. Got a ladder lean. Check out this ladder lean. You gonna climb that ladder? That's how they did their roofing, I guess. But does that make any sense? Like, yeah, we built this, but then we're gonna have this kind of ladderage to get up and down the damn things. I mean, come on, I'm not climbing that. I don't. No, that ain't happening. I'm sorry. That's just not gonna work for me. And look how it's just like the quality is, if you look close, the quality is not very good. And I love how they got it strapped to the building there, because it's, not good quality, so they got to strap it. If this was a marble statue, right, it would stay there. It'd be so heavy it wouldn't need things tied to the building. So they got tied to the building because it'll fall off. It's crap. So are these structures temporary? I think the facades are temporary. I don't know about the structure. I think the structures, quite possibly are, were permanent. Even though they burned it all, or most of it. I think they left some of it. But they didn't. There's a flat Earth asterisk right there. Looking at the old World's Fair. How y'all doing tonight? Y'all have a good week? I hope so. Got us a big old Ferris wheel here. There's a lot of controversy around this sucker. I think they could put like 20 people in each one of these compartments. I mean, seriously, how in the hell did they build that? I think this thing is like it's buried. Like they don't know where it went. They just buried it on site. It was too big to move. Okay, well, how did you get it there in the first place? I mean, shit like that. It's just like, come on. Like, why, when they take pictures, why do y'all stand around like this? Like, why don't y'all get like in like formation and like say cheese and shit, and like look at the steel work. Like, that's not temporary. Why would you build that temporary? That is just, that's real. That's not. Why would you build that? Why would you go through so much effort to build like this steel? It just doesn't make sense to me. I think they were designed to be permanent. Yeah, airship hangar. Yeah, that could be an airship hangar. Yeah, very possible. Good call, GT. Japan. I've always liked Japan and their history and their culture. And they did all this in 18 months, y'all. 18 months. They turned it from a swamp into this. 18 months. I think that reminds me of a star fort right there. Some writing right here. Can't read it, but something there. Got a hot air balloon going up. What's attached to it? Oh, there he is. There's a little basket. So that's the Wizard of Oz taking off in his basket. See how everybody just stands around? They don't get in like a group to take a picture. It's like, just hold, like, freeze! Everybody stop right where you are! Don't move a muscle. If you move, you won't be seen. Like, what is this thing? Is that like a big old hookah? Hoorah! Look at that brickwork right there. So is that temporary? That don't look temporary to me. I mean, maybe it is. I mean, what is this thing? I mean, that's just weird looking. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know, boo boo. Yeah, clocks are expensive. Got an ether engine on that. Like, I mean, that roof is quality. That doesn't look temporary to me. I mean, you know, why? Screw it. Let's build that and then tear it down. Why not? Who cares? Here's your brick boat again. In case you want to build a ship out of bricks, because that makes so much sense. Then we're gonna do a steel frame here at the top to build a ship. I don't know really what the point of that is. Why don't you just bring in a ship? I don't know. Naval exhibit. It's just really weird. And look at this fountain right here. Like, look at that. That's kind of cool. How that water spitting out all around there, and it looks like a tourist field. Just saying. Eagle representing Phoenix up there. There's your obelisk. Check out these floors. I mean, what in the world? And look closely at the detail, like how shoddy the work is. I mean, yeah, okay, they did it in 18 months. Yeah, I get it. Look at that. See how it's not, there's no ceiling there? Because they didn't have the caulks we have now. I don't know what they did about that. I don't know if they just left it like that or what. Looks like they've got the fasteners, and the fasteners are rusting out. Look at the dirt all over the floor. Very strange. Look at that right there. That's busted. That wouldn't pass inspection, would it? Shit was all pieced together in 18 months. Like, I don't care how many people you got. Like, and like this right here doesn't look real to me. This looks drawn in for some reason. Maybe it is real. I don't know. It just doesn't look right to me. Let's see what we got. What we'll find. I don't know. Venezuela. All right, got an unscrubbed cartouche there and there. What's up, dude? That looks like the dude from Shrek, the king from Shrek. Yeah. Got an obelisk. 2 obelisks. More obelisk. That's a fancy ship thing, doodad. Got a yield ladder lane for Douglas. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, come on, like 18 months. Okay, 18 months, 40,000 guys, and you built this one building. Okay, maybe. Today, no, hell no. There's so many hoops to jump through. No. You got to have it inspected at every freaking stop. No. No, not today. Back then, no inspections. Yeah, okay. No OSHA. Damn OSHA all to hell. They kill more people than I don't know what. This is such a weird one to me. I don't know. There's some weird shit going on here. I don't know. It's just very strange. Very weird. Post no bills. Maybe the transit building. I don't know. Transportation building. I don't know. Check that out. Reminds me of something on Star Wars or something. Like those windows, like the glass for that, like I would love to see them installing that glass. Like, you know, that I'd like to see. That's a process I'd like to see for myself. See these cords right here hanging down? That is for opening and closing windows, I believe. But why you were just having them dangling there? I don't know. See, that looks like work zone. That's what a job site. That's the job site I would expect to see. That right there. That looks right. But this is not temporary. This, I'm sorry. That, you know, why? Why would you build that temporarily? I don't see it. Hell, this lumber's that they probably have the sawmill in that building, that little building right there, so they can cut boards, shit like that. I found this outer the sides of the buildings, that the way they did these boards right here, you'll see it better. See right there, and then they covered the facades over that. Um, you know, I don't know, like how do we know at all that this picture was taken in 1891? Do we have any proof of that? Is there any like evidence that shows that this is 1891, or could this be, you know, 1776? How do we know? How do we know? I'm not saying that it is or isn't. I'm just saying, how do we know? Like, they tell us one thing, and we know they lie about everything. So, I mean, come on. They've lied to us about everything. They oh my God, they don't want us to know things. They only tell us, they've created a narrative. Oh, and we've got list and list of all the workers and blah blah blah. You don't think they could fabricate that shit? You don't think they could say, okay, we want this, you know, group of people to sit down and we want you to fabricate records? You know, come on. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying, to think that they can't fabricate records of who worked on this place is beyond stupid. Okay. Yes, they could fabricate. They could fabricate damn near anything. Look at all the trash right here. That's a big old cow. Do. That's a big old spotlight. You know, these things, are the facades temporary? I think in many cases, I can't give you a percentage because I don't know the exact numbers, but I think a large percentage of them are temporary. But the framing, the actual framing of the buildings are not temporary. You're not going to put this heavy ass light up on this structure if it's not structurally sound. Okay. Now that doesn't, this being structurally sound has nothing to do with the facade of the building. The facade can be shit. It can be junk as long as that structure is good. Okay. You know what? Look at these outcrop doors. What are we looking at? Are we looking at, you know, something that we built from scratch, or are we looking at something that we finished? I mean, look at the way that they put the facades on. This is the construction that's underneath those facades. That is temporary. That is not the way you would build if you were building permanent. But that doesn't mean you're not going to build a structure that is, this thing is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 to 8 stories tall. You're not going to build a, you know, 5 to 8 story building with toothpicks. And a lot of people don't do construction. They don't understand these things. But I mean, if you don't build things well to take the loads that they're going to be taking, they're not going to stand. I don't care if it's temporary or not. They're not going to stand. You can't just throw sticks in the air and expect them to stay. And see, this is a great example of how they did the underplanking for the sides, for the facades. I'd love to know how the facades hung on these. I don't know if they nailed to that and then painted over that or what. I don't know how they did that. I think they just painted over it. Not sure what this kind of looks. What is that right there? I don't know. Not sure. Look how big that arch is. Massive. Look at that scaffolding is so sketchy looking. I mean, it is so sketchy. I like how they do scaffolding in China. They make it out of bamboo. Or they used to. I don't know if they still do that, but bamboo is very strong. There's Fred hanging out. Look at this dome. Does that dome look temporary? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. Sneaky Odin. What's Odin doing? Sneaky. You sneaky Odin, you. Got this dude hanging out up here in the wind catcher area. Clocks are expensive. Look like you got 4 ones for the Mandela affected folks. I wonder if that's William Penn. Suppose, yeah, Pennsylvania. That's who it is. Good guess, Beags. All guesswork up in here. Up in here. Up in here. Bum, 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 bum. Blasting through these. Blasting. Like we're not slowing down for nothing. We're just gonna blast through. We got 450 of these bastards. We ain't got time to get all crazy. That is massive. That has to be structurally sound to do what they're doing there. I don't care how temporary the facades are. That doesn't matter to me at all. The structure, the framing, the general construction underneath these things is solid. It's real deal. It's made very well. The outside's not so much. Very chintzy. Look at that boat. Look at the shape of that thing. That's wild. World's Fair steamship. Gonna get on the World's Fair steamship and take a ride. There's that light. Got all kinds of contraptions up here. I ain't sure what the hell this stuff is. Hey. Like that looks like a drawn in flag to me. Wonder if that's a Mole Richardson light. I've used a mini of Mole Richardson. That's a gun. Damn. What the hell are they putting a gun up there for? I wonder if this is on top of that ship. Maybe it is. I don't know. I've used a mini of a Mole Richardson light in my time. They're I think they just recently went out, closed their doors, and aren't making them anymore. It's the Mole Richardsons are film and stage lighting. They make the big stage lighting. You've seen them before. You would know them if you see them. They have a burgundy color to them. It's like a light burgundy. I don't know how to describe it very well, but got flat earth asterisks all the way across the front there. But Mole Richardson, there's more flat earth asterisks there. Got ladder lanes for Douglas up there in case he's got to have some ladder lanes. Ye old ladder lane. Do 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 do. And there, see on the other side, it's got, probably Japanese, be my guess. That's very pretty writing. Can't read a word of it. It says something like that. That was pretty close. Pretty damn close. I used to have this really good friend that was Korean, and you know how you jab your best friends, pretty hard. You got to. But I used to call him my little gook. He'd always go, "I'm not Vietnamese," which made it even funnier. My little gook. And I'd also go, I don't know if y'all remember this. There was a character. There was a TV show they had a character called Super Dave, and he was like a knockoff of Evil Knievel. I don't know if you remember Super Dave, but he had a sidekick, a little Asian sidekick, and he'd always screw up, and he'd always go, "Oh, so sorry, Super Dave." So, I was constantly saying that to my friend. "Oh, so sorry, Super Dave." Oh. If you can't pick on your friends, who can you pick on? Don't you start with me. I got time for it. I'm over here doing Mudflood and you that is that dude wearing a dress? Dude, you got no, we don't be no, we ain't wearing no dresses. I'm sorry. I ain't doing no dresses. Okay. I think somebody needs to take a patrol. They say there's a pit bull in the area and needs to go get taken care of. So we're going to take a little break and send him to the Tinkle Tower. So we'll be right back, and hope you guys enjoy. Buttons aren't toys. All right. Okay, we're back. Beagle caught him a pit boo, and we're ready to go. I saw somebody, I don't know who was talking about Derby Jack, but I don't know what you were referring to. Did he have a problem with his channel or something? I didn't understand what you're all trying to say. Anybody gonna let me know? Anyone? Yeah, Beagle got that damn hot chocolate. Yeah, I said, Beagle, you can't have that hot chocolate. He said, yes, I can. I said, no, you can't. Okay. All right, we're gonna get back into it. Hello, Machine Hit. What's going on? And hope all you are doing well tonight. And oh, Derby Jack was tired and had to go. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. I didn't know. I thought maybe something happened. Oh, little show note. YouTube is doing this thing now where they're sending the algorithm, the AI out to check all the videos for AI. And if you don't have your videos, hush now, if you don't have your videos labeled that they contain AI, and they do, they are taking channels down. So I've gone through and labeled many of my videos as containing AI. Not that they do contain AI, it's just that I don't really know if some element that I used in making some of these videos had AI. And so when you're going through 1,000 videos and you're checking each damn video, trying to figure out if it has AI or not in any way, shape, or form, it gets really old. So at some point, I just gave up and started labeling them all containing AI. So that doesn't mean that they actually do. I'm just circumventing the dipshits at YouTube, because I use all kinds of graphics and stuff in my videos, and so I don't know if those count. I don't know. The music sometimes is got AI. I don't know. You don't know about this damn algorithm, and it's not picking, like, it's not a person doing it. It's a computer, and it's not being choosy. It's taking down big channels. So anyway, so if you're a channel out there, you might want to look into that, because that's definitely something that's going on. But if you wonder, when you're like, oh, why does this video have AI on it? That's why. Do I have some AI? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You should be able to tell. But I mean, some of the music, some of the especially later videos, the AI, because it doesn't have the copyright on it. I like that. Me no like the copyright, so especially when I'm making longer videos, that AI music comes in real handy. Anyways, just show note. All right, let me get back into our picky chores. Oh, I gotta remove, add, okie dokie. All right, we're gonna get back into it, y'all. And we've already looked at this one. I'm gonna go on and look at this one. Would you hush? I don't know what you're squealing about, but I've given you biscuits. I've given you a little treat. I mean, what else do you want? What do you want? I don't got nothing. You can't have the hot chocolate. Sorry about that. Dogs can't have chocolate. He's mad because I took his hot chocolate. This roofing that they're using here. I mean, it. I don't know what this is made of. This is knob and tube wiring right here, incandescent knob and tube wiring. I don't know what this roofing is, this material, but it looks like almost like a tar paper. I don't know what it is. I've never used it, never seen it on a roof. It's very cheap. It's not nice. I do know there are in some of the records talking about the World's Fairs that they said that the roofs were famous for leaking, and sometimes you can see a lot of water on the floor inside the buildings. And I'm wondering if it had to do with that covering that they used. that was obviously temporary. Again, I mean, you know, were these buildings temporary? I think to an extent they were. Let's call it half of the building was temporary, but the other half, you know, I don't, you know, the outside, these parts like are absolutely amazing. Like how they made these in a temporary fashion is, you know, I got questions. Um, you know, but you know, the outside, like, you know, they're not marble. They're not, you know, the quality of the old world buildings. It's just not there. You can see it clearly that they're not the same quality. But the underlying structures are just as permanent as anything we build today. But Earth asterisks, please keep off grass. I love those signs. They're cracking me up. There's your circumpunct, original symbol for the creator. And I don't know if y'all have bothered to watch it. I know a few of you have. Teresa Gregory, I know you take a look at it. But I was asking you guys last week how many universal laws there are, and I posted a video this week of a kind of a nuts and bolts of the universal laws, and I believe y'all will find that there's a few more than you thought. And just so you know that that's not all the universal laws, but you know you're going to have to do your own digging on that. I can't give it all to you. And if you would like to, I did it in a meditation form, so you could sit back and relax and watch the video and take in the words and meditate on it. But then also, if you look under, I believe I put it under Teresa Gregory's comment, you'll see that I posted a link to the words that are being spoken on the video that you could read along with the video, or if you want to just read it. Or you can go buy the book if you want, if you so choose. But anyways, the author is now passed away, but the words carry on. See the temporariness right there underneath that? I mean, that is absolute. This is what a job site should look like. This makes sense to me. So I don't have any problem with that. Is this made temporary? Now, here's another thing. I've wondered if these buildings were originally supposed to be permanent and they were in the middle of construction when we found them, and then we needed to hurry up and get them done. So we came up with this, you know, was it staff or whatever, the plaster, whatever that crap is they came up with. See, look at how they're putting these panels on. That's so weird. And then maybe they came up with a temporary solution to do the outer portions. So maybe they came up on the framing and then finished out the frame. They came up with this. Maybe they had designs or molds that were already made for these buildings that were later going to be, you know, made in a better form. Maybe they were going to be sculpted. Maybe they were going to be carved. Maybe the stonemasons were going to come in and do them, but maybe we decided to do them in this temporary form. But they had a lot, like stuff like this. This looks like something we did, right? But this stuff looks like something that maybe somebody else designed. Look at this little fella up here working. He's getting busy. He's going to get it done. He's going to get all this shit done. What should you worry about? I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking outside the box. I think our history has been just completely destroyed at Phoenix. Like a pagoda style roof. That's pretty cool. I like that. Do. Got in about 10 truckloads of wood this week. Had guys out there cutting it up. We have big wood stoves, big wood boilers for heating the greenhouse, and keeps the tropical plants alive. And so we go through a lot of wood in the winter. They were out there and cutting it up. Amigos, as I call them. Amigos. Look at that dude right there. What's up with him? Hope y'all are enjoying these images. Took quite a while to download all these. I think I'll probably put together a slideshow for these just so you can kind of watch them without me jumping around all over the place. Look at this right here. I mean, what is going on here? This place is obviously not finished yet. The people are just climbing up the scaffolding. But they're way up here too. It's kind of odd. That was good hooch. That's interesting. It looks like it's painted. You got the sun, lions. Phoenix. Clocks are expensive. Wow, this thing just keeps going on up. Dang, it just keeps on going on. Let it etherfinium. Good grief. Man, look at all those etherfinials. Probably mercury in the balls here. I was watching a video on how they built this stuff the other day. That was really interesting. Look at the little Mudflood windows here. That's interesting. I'm still continuing to do my looking into the lime, and we'll do some more on that on another show. I like to change things up, shake it up a bit, keep y'all guessing. I'm sure y'all don't want to hear the same shit all over and over again. So I do try to shake the bag a little bit, give you a little something different, and we'll revisit the lime and go more into detail on that and check out some more of that if you enjoyed it. If you didn't enjoy it, we'll still do it, and you'll just have to bite your tongue because it is what it is. Because I like it, I'm gonna go look at it, and that's that. No, I think it's important. I hope you guys find it interesting looking into the lime and how it was used in the construction. I think a lot of people don't have backgrounds in construction. They don't understand a lot of these techniques, and so I think looking at this stuff is important. The actual the products that were used, the materials that were used, the flat earth asterisks, all of that. See that like that? Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. As above, so below. Pretty. Check out homeboy sitting here changing that arc light. Look at that stove pipe right there coming out of there. Now I'm going to tell you right now, that's dangerous as folk. That being that close to that building with that heat coming up is just asking for a fire. Look at that right there. That is super dangerous. That material next to that, there's a lot of heat coming out of that. That's super dangerous. There's Fred. sculpture. What a weird word. Oh, there's a ladder lean for Douglas way on up there, in case you need that. Ye old ladder lean. And they just keep coming. Look at these tiny little trees and sticks. And look at that planking on the side. Some of these pictures will be interesting to see the domes, how they planked them on a diagonal. They wrapped them in the planking. Now imagine that they soaked the wood to make them more malleable. We got some ladder leans there. Can you imagine climbing up that ladder and then climbing up that ladder and like you're gonna climb like all up there, like no safety harnesses, no nothing. You're just you in your birthday suit. I mean, that's all you got. Here's some of that pylon construction, and this is how they would put them in right here. They would raise up, see that steam machine right there, they would raise it up on a mechanical. This machine would run mechanics, and it would run this pounder up in the air, and then they would drop it, and it would use the force of the hammer. Now that's how they do it today, but they use much higher tech equipment. But I can't imagine that pounder pounds very quickly. Imagine that was a long, tedious process. And there's another one that looks like. But this is how they supposedly built on the swamp. But is this picture from 1891? I don't know. You know, we labeled it that. Okay, yeah, we labeled it that, but that's just scratched on there. You know, that's not proof that picture is from that time. And then is this of the World's Fair site? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't have any proof of that either. This boat is just weird. Very odd. Looks like she's got a beard, but she doesn't. There is this. There sometimes when I go to the local grocery store here, they've got this deli area where they make you know, they've got like they'll make different things every day, and they got sometimes not all the time, not a lot really. I'll go over there and get me a little nibble of something, you know, out of the deli. A lot of times it's something like fried okra, because I love some fried okra. Don't eat it much, but you know, I'm Southern. We eat fried okra. It's good. A lot of people fight me on that, but that's okay. I'll die on that hill. But you know, I might go there and get me a fried okra. But there's this I'm gonna call it a person because out of respect, because I don't know what their damn pronouns are. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, to be honest with you. I thought it was a woman, but then I realized this woman has a beard. And anyways, every time she's there, and I go to get something from the deli, this woman's got this beard. It's just so strange, because I don't know if I'm looking at a man that has feminine characteristics, or if it's a woman with a beard, and I'm like, it's not like a full beard like a man beard. It's like a you know, a 4 days, you know, long, bigger than that. I don't know. It's just, and yeah, I know women have facial hair and they, you know, pluck everything out and wax it off and all that shit. I'm just saying that it's very, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, I guess is my point. It's just very, very odd. They're nice. Look at this. Look at that temporariness right there. That's very temporary. It's obviously temporary. Definitely. So I think this all or nothing thing, it's like, oh no, we found these and they were permanent, and that's that, or the ones that say, no, we built all this shit and it's all temporary. Like, I think it's a combination of the two things. And I think each location is different. I think I'm talking about this location. I'm not talking about all World's Fairs. Every location I found different things. I found different qualities of craftsmanship. I found different materials being used. So they're not all the same. You have to take them individually. You can't group them in one thing. That's like saying all mud flooders believe, one thing. We don't. We don't. We all have different opinions. We're all trying to figure it out, and so we all have a different mindset on it. Of course, nobody can agree on anything, so everybody infights. That's wonderful. We can't have an actual community, which would be nice, but whatever. Everybody gets their knickers twisted. It sucks. My suggestion to anybody that's starting up a YouTube channel that's going to do all world research is don't collaborate with anybody. Don't do it. No matter how much you want to or how well you think it's going to go or nothing, just don't collaborate. Because the odds that they're going to turn into, somebody that you're not going to want to be around are very high. Because once they find out that you disagree with something on them, they just lose their shit. Our community, or communities, like your Flat Earth community or your Meltology community or your Mudflood community, all these different communities. This is something I learned about nature this week in a very, very interesting way. There's a ladder lean for Douglas. I was sitting there and I was working out in the woods and working on my goat house, and it was quiet and peaceful. And I'm out there doing my thing. It was quiet and peaceful, and all of a sudden the birds started making these weird noises up in the trees, like they were talking to each other. And I thought, wow, that's kind of interesting that they out of nowhere just started talking. And then I realized that what they were doing was they were alerting to a hawk that was flying around the area. And it was just a lesson that taught me that this right here is interesting. I'll show you this later. See that man up there? We'll look at that later. They were alerting that there was, danger present, or there was something different present. And the communities do the same thing. We sit there and, like, okay, imagine, if you will, that a meltologist came in right to the stream right here and, starts spouting on about, Mudflood being bullshit, right? Okay. Y'all would immediately jump on them and start berating them for being a dumbass, right? You would. Tell the truth. But the same thing would happen if you went to a meltologist stream and started being like, y'all people are, a bunch of dumbasses. Y'all are frauds. Frauds are us. And they would jump on you. So that's how communities work. Is that anytime there's an outsider or a perceived threat, we band together and we defend our turf, and we're not welcoming. That's why when we have the Mudflood flash mobs. That's why the meltologists are welcome. As long as they don't have a channel, that's a whole different thing. They need to go to debate route. Still trying to get old True Seeker 69 to cough up some nuts, because she still don't have the balls to debate me. I'm continuing to tempt her. I don't know. She I don't know what the problem is. I mean, are they just so afraid of little old BEAGS that they can't do that, or what's going on? I mean, am I just too much? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would have think you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. But first, it will piss you off. I think that they should be able to, have a debate. I mean, they want to, defend their turf. I mean, let's do it. Come on. This is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's why, I'm welcome to have regular everyday Joe, viewer of Meltology and to come on and talk about it, because I think that through conversation, I think we can work out a lot of these problems that we have between the communities. Because I think what happens is, as soon as you start saying, hey, I don't agree with that, they go in defense mode, and then the conversation ends and you don't actually get anything done. You don't actually accomplish anything. And I think I need people to be, people need to be, we need to get clear with each other, because these two, hypotheses are rubbing up against each other. And I get a lot of y'all don't understand why I have been, beating these people up, but you got to understand they're infiltrating the Mudflood community with their horse shit. And I have tried to suppress it, to keep it out of our, community, and not to taint our community. But they're like a virus that has infected our community, and they will take it down. They will turn the Mudflood community into a shit-tard storm. And so, we've already lost a lot of, the best, Mudflood researchers ever. And there's going to be more to come. There's one that I'm aware of right now that I'm contemplating on how to deal with it, because pretty much I'm going to feel really bad when I have to, call them out. But if it needs to be done, it will be done. I'm not here to, be their friend. I'm here to find the truth. And if you're not gonna, tell the truth, my opinion is going to be what I'm going to tell people. And you can have your opinion, but my opinion will be heard too. That's the thing with opinions, is you can all have your opinion. That's all fine, but you have to remember that everybody has their opinion. Everybody can have their opinion. We are all, able to give our opinion. Okay, whether it pisses people off or not, it doesn't matter. Why am I going to hold my tongue because I don't agree with you? Because it hurts your feelings. Because fuck that. If you don't want to hear it, maybe you should have a conversation about it. Maybe have a conversation. Maybe shoot me a fucking email and talk about it. But no. People get their knickers twisted. They take everything the wrong way, and then we don't get anywhere. That's childish. That's, kindergarten shit. Pull your britches up and make a damn call. Call somebody. Email somebody. Ask for, a conversation. Have some grow a pair. Come on. Call yourself truthers. I mean, you should be able to talk. It should be like, part of your repertoire of abilities. It looks like a brick building to me. The lower half, at least. That's really quite interesting how they've done brick and stone here on the bottom, and then done the I forget what they call this, but where they would build the wood. This would be wood. This would be lime soaked wood. There's a squatting man symbol. It's interesting. And then they would lime wash the wood. I don't know if they lime washed this wood, but I'm talking about like in England when they built like this. That's not temporary. I don't see anything temporary about that. Now, see, here's the facade pieces lined up. I have seen images. I don't know if it's which fair it's from, but the manufacturing areas where they were making these, and it was a very kind of a dirty process. You got that stuff all over you. But that steel framing right there, that ain't temporary. I mean, somebody was saying earlier, airship hangar. I mean, yeah, I mean, why not? Why could that not be an airship hangar? I believe the Vikings were over here in America before we were over here, hanging out, doing their Viking stuff. That's interesting right there. Very cool. There's that weird ship again. Little dolphins. So long and thanks for all the fish. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. What a good book. I like the movie too. Different, but both good. Look at the contraption they got here holding this together. Like, I mean, that's temporary. If that was made out of quality materials, it wouldn't have to have that. And this dude just creeps me out. Like, seriously, stranger danger right there. That's what I call old sheep poo. The Meltologist, stranger danger. That's a creepy looking motherfucker right there. That dude, he is like that's a creepy looking dude. I don't know what his deal is, but his eyes, he's got those black, like demon eyes, like soulless eyes. If you've ever seen him, man, that's a creepy dude. Just makes my goddamn skin crawl. Just ooh, something, man. That dude's like he's got the darkness in him. There ain't no doubt to me. That motherfucker's seen the dark. He has looked into the void. I'll assure you that. Anyways, I'm rambling. Check out that incandescent light hanging down there. That's a cool building. Got brick. Oh, we looked at this one earlier from a different angle. There's that weird hookah. Ooh, there's a bong. Don't lie, some of you high off your ass. Don't lie. I know. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's a finial. Clocks are expensive, and you got 4 ones there for the Mandela affected folks. It was 1B when I was coming up, unscrubbed cartouche. That's a cool building. Me's alike. Hope y'all are keeping up with us. Blasting through. We ain't taking no time. Look at portholes. Look at that crappy roofing. No wonder it leaked. There's a ladder leaning for Douglas. Like, why did they leave the ladders up? That's very odd. I like looking at the stuff like the weird stuff like this. I think that's interesting to me. From a construction standpoint, it tells me a lot about like how they did things. Like, where are all the workers at? 40,000 people working on this, and I don't see hardly any. I don't think that's temporary. That doesn't look temporary to me. See, they're planking this dome here. And this is another just very strange thing to me. They're up here. They've got, you can't see it in this picture, but I've got other pictures where they're cutting these boards up here in the air. It's weird. They're doing it up there on that roof. They got a table and they're cutting, I believe, with handsaws. That ladder lean right there. Look at that planking on the outside. See, they didn't have plywood back then. Y'all might say that's something. I don't know what y'all don't know, I guess. They didn't have plywood back then. Okay, so they planked everything. So that's why you see the planks. That was how they did their sheathing. Okay, they planked it. That was just how it was done. You look at old houses, a lot of times, like a roof will be planked. It won't be plywooded or OSB or anything like that. And so, you know, that's just how they did it. But then they came up with plywood, and plywood, you know, that was much better. I would have loved to seen this in real life. I just, that would have been a really, really cool thing to see. "400 years after the discovery of this continent by Christopher Columbus." Lie. See, there we go. There, we've already got our first lie. I ain't reading no more. We already know that's not true. You're trying to erase history. Why? Why? I don't have to erase history. You do it for me. You tell us a lie. We find out it's not true. And then, well, history's a lie. I mean, come on. Like we definitely built that building. But I mean, like, what in the world? See how they did the planking here? And look at this right here. They're putting these boards on and then cutting them on right up there in the air, already set in place. And this is with hand saws. I can't even. I guess. Oh, my arm is hurting just thinking about how that was done. I just. And then you're doing that. You're doing all this in 18 months. 18 months. Like, okay, let's call it 2 years. Let's call it even 2 years. I don't even know. Like, in fact, you look at the time frame they gave us earlier. I don't even think that was 18 months. I might be wrong about that. I could be wrong. I don't think. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. It did not look like 18 months to me. Let's call it 2 years. Let's say they did this in 2 years. Got a flat Earth asterisk in case you need that. I mean, look how chintzy this statue is, and he looks crazed. I mean, it just looks like very cheaply made stuff. You know, it's not. Look at the quality work here. Look at that. And I think they came back in and painted this stuff. I think, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know what it actually looked like. I don't know if this is after, these photos are taken after opening, or was this a soft opening? And what is going on here? They're saying, what, 400,000 people on the first day? Is this the first day? That flag looks almost like it's a painted flag. I don't know. Bum, 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 bum. Sigzar, earlier you cracked me up. You were talking about your pants are down, and I thought you were over there smoking some weed or something. I know what the hell you were talking about. What the hell is he talking about? Hey man, he's seeing shit that, like, man, he's got that good shit going. He got that sticky icky going. Good grief. Talking about I got my pants down. I'm like, damn. Puff, puff, pass, brother. Puff, puff, pass. Good grief. I mean, I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. I'm sorry about that opening, folks. It was, I promise you, it was really good. Y'all just didn't see it. What can I do? What can I do? I just can't do it. And if I did it again, it just wouldn't be as good. I don't know. would you hush your big whiny mouth, big old, "Ooh, I'm a beagle. I'm a little beagle. Please play with me. I'm a little beagle. Go play with your toys. You got like 1,000 freaking toys. Believe me, I know I step on them all the time. Yes, I do. Listen to you. Sound like a little kitty cat. Yeah, little kitty kitty. Yeah, meow, meow. That's what you sound like. Da, 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 da. All right, zip it, Skippy. Ain't got time for it. Here we're gonna go making the swamp again. All right, yeah, gonna get our wheelbarrows out. And I'm sorry if you've ever done work like this. You know that's hard. Hush. No, you done went out. You're not going out again. You go out. You got the bladder of a little girl, I think. You need to tighten up, son. Tighten the fuck up. All right. Sorry, folks. You got flat earth asterisk right there. I don't know what this beagle. He's just hush. He gets like this. He just. This is my day every day. He knows that annoys me, so he does it, and he doesn't want anything. He just wants attention, and he knows good and damn well I can't give it to him right now. Look at that window right there. That's cool. California. Bum, bum. Got ether antennas and finials and all kinds of shit going there. Got axe cut right there. Look at this block work right here. That's pretty interesting. I'd love to see that in real life. Very interesting. You have to wonder if that's got some geopolymer going there. There's another ladder lane for Douglas. He loves them ladder lanes. Look at that spiral staircase going up there. We got a spiral staircase at the farm. It's sitting up on top of one of the connexes, and we don't know what to do with it yet. We haven't come up with an idea. I sent the boss to an auction Saturday to get a thing. It's basically a step bit for a bobcat to drill into split logs, big, 3-foot, 2-foot logs, and it's like a drill bit for a log, and you just drill into it with the bobcat, and it splits the log up. Flat Earth asterisks, and so anyways, he was supposed to go get this thing. I mean, we're talking like a, I don't know, $300-400, purchase, at the auction. That's auction price. I'm sure they were much more expensive new, probably $1,000 or so more. I don't know. Anyways, so he comes back with $14,000 worth of heavy equipment. He literally bought like an excavator and a dingo, and he bought 5 of those drill bits. I mean, it was just like, damn. Like, I mean, you were supposed to go get this, and you come back with all that. Damn. All right. So, anyways, there's some new toys coming to the farm. Well, some of them are going to go out to the jobs, go out to for the demolitions, but go get some new toys. Hush, now you're getting on my nerves. Got a spear for the there's a flat earth asterisk right there. Got a spear for the bobcat so we can spear hay bales, and I wanted him to get 2 metal buildings that were brand new, and the first one went too cheap, and so he, for some reason, he decided, well, I don't want to drive the price up on that one because it might drive the price up on the second one. And then when he went to bid on the second one went what he thought was too high. I think it was still worth it. It was like, went for like $5,500, and anyways, I think it was still worth it, but he didn't get the second one because he thought it went too high. Like, man, we need that. Damn. Come back with a damn excavator, and we needed a damn metal building. What the world, man? So I told him, tighten right the fuck up. Got to get what we need. Anyways, they're having another auction in March, so I think next time I'm going to go. I didn't realize it was going to be all that. I just I thought it was just you know, go get this one little thing, bid on it, come back with it. I didn't know it was going to be, you know, I didn't know we were going to like come back with the whole, you know, freaking auction. I don't know. They had all kinds of shit out there. That's flat earth asterisks. In case you need that. See? Vertical, horizontal, X. Flat earth asterisks. They're everywhere. Torus field. That's just so cool. Look at that. Is that a, oh, the bunny rabbit. Maybe a rooster? All right. We'll get that wheel going. Get that Ferris wheel up in the air. That dude climbing up that steel. Damn. Man, that just does not look safe to me. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't look safe. How in the hell did they get that well, center piece? I don't know what you call it. Spoke? No, it's not spoke. The mind is farting. What, that piece in the middle? How the hell did they get that way up in there like that? I don't know. I just don't make no sense. This reminds me of the little I think it was a Mayflower exhibit they had in North Carolina when I was little. We got to go on it. Looks very similar to that. I was pretty little. I don't think it's still there. I think it was like a temporary exhibit. I wonder what these little doodads here are for. Little openings. Flat earth asterisks. Do. Just the fire department. Got a battalion of Freds here. Oh, I took a test the other day to see if it was a cult test to see if Meltology was a cult, and I was graded at a 71% cult. So that happened. It ain't, you know, it ain't 100%, but it's damn sure not, you know, it's damn sure above average. And I was lenient on how I answered the questions. I felt I was very I went very gentle. That's that brick ship we saw earlier. It's raining again here. I don't know if you can hear that. We've been needing to see this. Look at this walkway right here. You could go up on the roof and hang out. See that? You can walk down there. It's crazy. Here's some artillery being shown. Look at that cannon. I mean, come on. Like, really? I'm not feeling that's, you know, something that we needed. Like, what is that for? Like, really, what are we doing with that? I bet this was just a sight to see. I mean, I have to say that the people that finished out these buildings, they did do an amazing job doing what they did. I don't, you know, I'm not going to say they didn't. captive something. What a fucked up exhibit that is. Some of these stories about these exhibits with these people are horrible. The way they treated them, absolutely horrible. What in the world? That's a flower of life right there. I've seen other flower of lives in these pictures too. I haven't seen them yet tonight, but I'll point them out if I see them. This bridge is bothering me right here. This is just, that doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't go with, like, you got this bridge. Okay, that I get, but then this here is just, it don't make a lot of sense. I don't know, something weird about that. Those floors. See how temporary it is. The lion. That's interesting right there. We need rain. I'm glad to hear that rain coming down. We've been getting rain off and on all day today. We've been in a pretty bad drought. So I'm really thankful to have rain today. We pray rain around here. It's some cool structure. Must be Norse, Norwegian or something. It's Viking-y. Like that staircase right there. Look at those posts right there, man. Very nice. That is a really cool building. Got the gondola. See that people walking up there and they're on the roof up here. Hello, people. There's those little fountains we saw earlier. I hope y'all are enjoying these pictures. If you're not, we're going to blame it on, let's see, Kathy Broughton. Definitely blame it on Kathy Broughton. Now, Kathy, we're going to do Mudflood Flash Mob this week, so get your gear ready. Won't you come on and introduce yourself? Say hello. I want to be up there talking to myself now. Might be able to coach 6R, come on back up, talk a little more. See what he's got to say. So Mudflood Flash Mob this week, y'all. Don't know what day, don't know what time. Just it'll probably be in the 8 or 9 o'clock ish area. Don't know exactly when. It's going to depend on my week, but gonna try to shoot for this week. Try to do it again. I enjoyed it very much last time, and I think a lot of you did too. So we're gonna do it again. So if you'd like to come and share your truths and tell ask questions or talk about, we can talk about anything. I mean, it's not a set format as to we're going to talk about Mudflood. That's the only topic we can talk about. No, we can talk about anything. You want to talk about, music or spirituality or if you want to talk about politics, we can. I mean, I don't think politics is, a topic that's worth talking about, but I mean, whatever. I mean, it's my point on politics is it's all, controlled. and there's really no point to it. It's just, I just ignore it all. I don't pay attention to politics. It's like these files they just released recently. That's just that's just they're setting you up for the next thing they're going to do. That is a setup, y'all. They're going to use that to bring in some things that you're probably not going to like, because you're going to want those things. But I don't pay attention to all that mess. I mean, is that stuff going on? Yes, absolutely. We've known this. This is not news, y'all. We've known these horrible things are happening. This is not news to the community, truth community kind of thing. It's just getting out in the public now. Hey, what is your problem? My goodness, you're the squealiest dog. That's a beagle thing. My last beagle did the same thing. They got this thing where they squeal just to annoy the ever living shit out of you. They don't want anything. They just want to annoy you because they know it entertains them. They basically just think it's the most funny thing in the world. Got a cartouche with Columbia on it. Laurel leaf control. Check out this creature. Horse fish thing doodad. I don't know. Very strange. Hush. You sound like a squeaky wheel going down the road. Check out this lighthouse thing. I wonder if this is military set up here. Military style tents. I've slept in this style tent many a time in the Boy Scouts. That was a very popular style tent. That's a swastika. Crescent moon. Flat Earth asterisks, Taurus fields. Bum bum bum, Taurus fields. Wish I could see those better. Kind of interesting. All right. It sure did take a lot of pictures. Man, like, how in the hell did they get all that decoration onto there? I just don't. Man, what a wild place. Gazebo. See how it's got the underground feature? I think that's got something to do with gazebos. They always seem to have that underground feature to them, which is interesting. A lot of times you don't realize they have an underground feature, but they do. See this right here? This is a system that this would turn, and then you could attach right here. You see a belt, and this belt would turn your machine, and you could they would get electricity from this. I think in a way this is a free energy device. They would run these on steam engines, but you could produce the power from that from like a windmill or a water mill, and like you could actually not on this scale, but like a smaller version. that could be a free energy device, because let's say you got a water bill on a river, and you drop down your water wheel, and it starts turning. That turns, an engine that then creates the spin of this spindle here, and then you attach your belt down to your machinery, and your machinery is then running. That's free energy. It's not free energy as in like it comes from the ether, but that's still a form of free energy. And I don't think that structure is temporary. See the moisture on the floor right there? They talked about how the roofs would leak. That thing. What the hell is that? Man, she got kids running all over her. Poor thing. These display cases are just phenomenal to me. Look at that urn right there. How big that thing is. My goodness. I wish there was more inside pictures that showed the stuff that the exhibits, because some of those exhibits are just phenomenal. Caduceus. You will represent the phoenixes. Man, just really cool stuff. I mean, looking at what we have today, the quality we make today is just so subpar in the details. It's just not even funny. Like, where did we lose our architectural design capabilities? Like, where did we lose our taste in architecture? When did we become so bland and boring and just ugh? Look at that right there, like how beat up it is. Flat Earth asterisks. Transportation. Look at those doors. Like, did those look right? They don't look right to me. Look at the shit right here on the ground. Like, I don't know. That's just, it's just so strange. What the hell's that thing? Street light. What are you looking at? Look. All you want to. This one's underexposed, it looks like. We got this 3 deal here, which is kind of weird. This is symmetrical, but then this is not. That's strange. And look how they did this. It's like an arched, window that's been blocked in. That's kind of weird. But it's obviously a temporary structure. Brick floors. Well, that's a melted brick floor right there, as Jen Truth Seeker 69 would tell you. Look how beat up that is. Like, the story kind of goes that they painted this stuff, they whitewashed it, but you know, I can't even imagine having to whitewash all this. Like, that must have been just the labor involved in that. Just, oh my God. Of course, I don't like painting either, but I've done a lot of painting in my life. For some reason, a lot of people don't like to paint. I don't like to paint, but for some reason, somehow, some way, that's good hooch. People found out that I could paint, and I certainly didn't advertise that. And so I ended up painting a lot of stuff, or have painted a lot of stuff in my time, uh, just because I can, and you know, but I sure don't like to do it. I don't know. It's just not one of my favorite things to do. Flat Earth asterisk right there. You also have the cross with the 4 dots, which is kind of a Templar symbol. So that's kind of weird. Got some horseshit narrative right here we've added in. Go Flurfs. That's how I've been going into the atheist chats and kicking them in the nuts. That's just a hell of a lot of fun. I don't know if you've ever done that, but I really thoroughly enjoy drinking my coffee in the morning and kicking atheists in the nuts. That is like becoming my new favorite morning pastime. It really gets my heart going in the morning. Like, that is just pure entertainment. Anyways, they'll see me coming and they'll be like, "Oh, watch out, he's a flurf." He's a flurfer. I'm like, damn right. Like that, like that. No idea. They're so stupid. They think it's like a flex to call me a flurf. It's like, okay, all right, flex away, you ball earthers, you globetards. But you can't call them globetards because I found if I talk shit to them, you got to be very strategic, because if you talk to them, they're mods. If you talk shit if you talk shit in the chat to the viewers, the mods will time you out. I've been timed out. I've been naughty. So I try to be a little more strategic about it now. They would be sitting there talking crap to me, so I'd talk crap to them, but they have the wrenches. So, that's no fun. But oh, it just cracks me up when they go, "Watch, he's a flurf. He's a Mudflooder." Like, it's like they're like so superior. It's like, you dumbasses, you believe in nothing. You believe nothing created the universe. It just happened. It's just like a fart in the wind that just miraculously happened and created the universe. It's sad, really. It's like, how can you live like that with no, like, you just believe in nothing? It's just so fucking stupid. Oh, so anyways, I love just berating them with dropping truth bombs at them left and right. Just they don't know what to do. And they can't come back at me because they're used to, clapping back at Christians and Muslims and, Buddhists, any religion. They can, that's easy to clap back at. But they don't know what to do with a pantheist. They just don't know what to do. They don't know how to approach that. So it's just real fucking fun. Anyways, that's how I spend my mornings. Drinking my coffee and kicking atheists in the nuts. I'm a bad beagle. Look at this thing. Golly. So they put pylons in the ground and then built the bricks on the pylons. Like, how in the world do you come up with that? Look at all the debris in the water. Wow. Dum, 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 dum. Dun, dun, dun. Porthole right there. Some interesting details. Scrub cartouche, architectural iron with lions on it, multiple lions. Look at the how rough it is right there and there. It's a cool building. It's very different than the others. Look at that symbol. Kind of interesting. These lights all across the top. Huh. Do. This must be a bunking quarters for maybe staff. I wonder how many staff they had working. That's a cool building. Stained glass. I wish this was clear. I wish these were glass plate negatives. We would see so much more. These are prints from the glass plate negatives, and it shows you how much quality. Anybody that's been around this channel long enough knows how good a quality those glass plate negatives are. So if you see a scan of the glass plate negative, it's going to be so much better than these prints. It's not even funny. It's like night and day. But see, this is what people would receive when they'd see it in books and newspapers, and when they'd order prints of it or stuff like that, they would see this quality. Probably not even this quality. I mean, when they printed it, because a lot of times they would just like do a print of a print, to like a copy of a copy. I need a Viking ship. Yep. I'll rode my Viking ship on down the road here. Oh yeah. All right. Do. Yes, Mississippi. That was pretty stained glass. Look at that. I mean, that's well built. It's not junk. There's nothing temporary about that. Look at these guys just working on the steel just up there. Now, honestly, these guys could easily have been photoshopped into these pictures. There's no reason that they're not photoshopped into those pictures. Are they real? I don't know. Now, if we had the glass plate negative, we would know. We would be able to see. But I couldn't find the glass plate negatives of these. And these displays always just kill me. How like nice the displays are, and how how big they went with their displays. Just phenomenal. Everybody freeze. Go take a picture. You didn't freeze, young lady. Creepy kid. Ghost kid. And, you know, a lot of people say that the picture, you had stayed still for 30 seconds. I don't think it was that long. I don't think he had to stay still as long as, I think the very early photographic techniques, you had to stay still a long time. But at this point, you didn't have to, you know, we're talking 3, 4, 5 seconds, something like that. I think that was about long enough to take a picture. Oh, wait, let me look at those. Look at those windows right there. All right. Look at, wait a minute, go back. They have, almost, I can't tell. It looks almost like they painted these beams, like they've whitewashed the beams. That's interesting. Okay, sorry. Moving on down to the next picture. Looking for the Mudflood castle in the sky. But moving on over to Fred's house. Gonna get some bricks. Gonna haul them around this old place and build something up. It's just what we do. Man, he looks like he just whoop your ass. Look at his stance. He's got the stance of I will whoop your ass. Not to be messed with. That's okay. Do. Ladder lean for Douglas. Bum. Got some artwork here. Okay, that's just creepy. Sorry, creepy. Very creepy. Most art sucks. I gotta admit. But when art is good, art is good. Okay, look at the scale. The scale of this man compared to this right here. That's just phenomenal. Hard to imagine. They just really went all in, didn't they? Flat Earth asterisk windows. People hanging out the windows. They did a lot of that back then, hanging out the windows and climbing up shit. Don't know why. See them climbing up, going up to the roof here. Told you we was going to blast through some pictures tonight. Yeah. Going through some pictures, looking at them, and getting on to the next one. We ain't playing. We ain't play biggin' around here. Y'all one fine bunch of hound dogs. I'll tell you what. I got to admit. Like we're installing the Flat Earth asterisk windows here. Like, I'm sorry, but those would have been hard to make. And it's not that it's the one. It's just you're making them over. They're probably made out of wood. I mean, it's just a lot of work. Just a lot of freaking work. Look at that obelisk. Got Fred bringing in the materials here. That's what Fred does. Fred hauled all this shit in here. I wish they had shown the process of how they put these facades on. I mean, it's just a lot of work just to build the scaffolding. That's not easy work. That, you know, Scaffolding is like not as simple. It looks simple. It is simple. Well, especially this scaffolding. This is like crackhead scaffolding, but it's not simple. It's a lot of work. I mean, you got the one man ain't gonna build this. I mean, you got they didn't have nail guns, y'all. They're not. This is hand nailed. This is hand freaking nailed. Every nail, hammer nail. I mean, talk about tennis elbow. There's Fred doing what he does, bringing in whatever he's bringing in. He's bringing it in. That's what Fred does. I ain't seen a donkey yet. I keep hearing about this donkey. I'm looking for the donkey. I have not seen donkey. Look and see, there's Fred again. Fred's always there. Fred does it. That's what Fred does. He brings in the shit. That's what he does. Got some top hat fellas here. All right. Go ride the gondola. I wonder if they sang Yo Ladder Lane. But they leave that there. I find it strange they left the ladders out. Why was that? Emperor. Interesting. Flat Earth asterisks. Torus fields. Wow. Venetian wave. Or one leg of a swastika. Very cool. This is a painting. I like this because it has something to say. You know, got these. I think. Well, not the label. This is a picture, a painting of people in church. Okay, so everybody's listening to the sermon and everything. This girl over here. This is me at church, talking about I'm gonna get a nap, and her mother's like, "Bitch, you better recognize." And she's like, about ready to smack her. And she's over here getting her some Z's. She ain't got no time for this shit. I like that picture. But that's me. Teach his own. Y'all may like, that sucks. I don't like that. I don't. It's That's okay. I just like it. I just like the not the quality of the painting. I like the content, like what it's about. Look at all these people running around the roof. Let's just run around the roof. Why not? Look at this freaking arch right here. 10 stories high, whatever the hell. How many stories is that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 stories. In case you need that. Why not? I mean, Palace of Mechanic Arts. Mechanic Arts. What the hell does that even mean? I don't know. Bunch of horse shit. I think this is where they indoctrinated people into the new world. Like what this is how we're going to do things. Check this out. This is your training exercise. We're going to show you some old stuff too. We're going to show you what the world was like, and then we're going to burn it to the ground. Why not? Because we can do that. Because we're going to show American might. Okay, and that's one thing I heard recently. This is just built to show American might. Okay, this is from one of the flip floppers. Okay, so a flip flopper saying this is to show an American might. Well, what about all the other World's Fairs around the world? Were those to show American might? or they show in Brazilian might, or Japanese might, or French might. What might? Whose might are we showing here? Like it. I mean, come on. They did this around the world, y'all. This isn't the only one. This isn't a one-off. You know? See the break right there and there? Temporary. I get it, temporary. And I get why people look at this and go, oh, this is temporary, that's all it is. And they don't look any further. Because what happens is you have these jackasses out there that go out there and say, all these buildings were permanent and they weren't temporary. These weren't temporary structures. And then the narrative gets all screwed up. It's from people doing bad research and trying to grift off, the knowledge. And most people don't double check them. But then you have, somebody come along that actually is going to look at the stuff, to a certain degree, and then they're going to go, well, no, this is temporary, right? But then again, you have the different World's Fairs where you have some stuff was not temporary, and it's like, which World's Fair are you talking about? Like, and it gets so complicated. That tree is just really weird there. I don't know. Bum, 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 bum. France. That must be French might. Here, put some steel in the air. These guys, these monkeys climbing all over this stuff. The steel workers are wild now. Yeah. They were tough cookies. They are tough cookies. They still do it. I mean, I should say they are tough cookies. I know some steel guys. They're very, very clever at what they do. They're very good at figuring out how to do things. I guess they have to be. They make things that with steel, they're just, it's impressive to watch them work and how they get around problems and solve issues. Very impressive workers, I think. I don't have a problem with these being, temporary here, but those structures underneath, I don't see anything temporary about that. I think we could have rolled up on these buildings in a state of being constructed. I don't have any problem with that. Now, is that what happened? I don't know. I'm just asking, trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand. This is just one aspect. Okay, a lot of people, and this is another thing that aggravates the shit out about the flip flop clan. Okay, the ninny squad. Okay, they come in and they try to debunk the World's Fairs, and then they don't spend any time on the millions of buildings across the world that are actually real, and they don't spend any time on those. They just pass right by those and just like, yeah, those World's Fairs, yeah, it's all bullshit. Yeah, these guys, yeah, these old world researchers, they're full of shit. Because look at this World's Fair. My God, this is temporary. I mean, what are they thinking? Of course we built this. Look at our quality. And then people that don't have the sense of a peanut believe them. It's kind of sad, really. The old ladder lean again, in case you need that. These are weird. Ooh, it's raining. I love rain. Bring that rain. Flat Earth asterisks is. Scrub cartouche. Of course, it's temporary, so it's not technically scrubbed, but look at that ladder. Oh my gosh, that's sketchy. Man, I just, no. I'm not going to climb that. Sorry. That just, no. I'm not a fan of climbing up ladders anyways. And I certainly don't want to climb that one. Big man on a little ladder ain't the best idea in the world, but I do it. Do it when I have to. Just not a big fan of it. You got a 275-pound man on a 250-pound rated ladder. It's a little bit sketchy. That's okay. Living on the edge. I'll be finishing, well, I might finish my goat house this week, depending on if Boss Man gets me metal roofing. He asked me the other day, he says, how, this is the exact words he said, I got to call him out on this. He said, how long is the metal roofing you need? I said 12 feet. You'll need to take the trailer. And he didn't ask anything else. That was all he asked. Now note that he just asked how long it was, and I told him he needed to take the trailer. I didn't tell him anything else. He didn't ask anything else. Next thing I know, he shows back up. He takes he takes the big truck and the 16-foot trailer, drives 15 miles down the road, picks up literally 2 strips of metal that are 10 feet long that I had special ordered to put around a door frame, because he knew that I had ordered some metal, and then comes back and I'm like, where's my metal? He goes, it's right there. And I'm like, that's not the roof metal. He goes, what'd you send me to get? I'm like, I didn't send you to get nothing. You asked me what size metal, and I said 12 feet, you'll need to take the trailer. I didn't tell you what metal I needed or how long. Well, I told you how long, or what kind of metal I needed or how many I needed. I didn't tell you I needed screws. I didn't tell you anything. You didn't ask. You just jumped in the truck and went. So now he's got to go all the way back over there to get me my metal. So if he gets me my metal this week, which we'll see, I might finish my goat house this week, my 3rd goat house. But I don't know. I just thought I was like, boy, you need to tighten up. I tell you what now. Why would you drive all the way over there to get what? Was I not clear, y'all? Like, you tell me if I wasn't clear there in that comment. You say, what's the length of this metal you get? 12 feet. And I say, you need to take the trailer. I didn't tell him what I needed, how many pieces, what kind of metal, what color, what did I need screws, what, like, nothing. I didn't tell him shit. What, am I wrong here? He knows I'm right. He's just like, damn it. So what happens when you get too busy in your head? Look at these people. They just climb everything. It's just, this is a phenomenon. Look at this flat earth asterisks. Them are beautiful ones. Gosh, they're huge. Look at that. Those things are probably 8 feet tall. Because there's, look at the size of the man compared to that, and he's sitting down. That's amazing. Look at ladder linkage. Look at these fools just climbing all over this building. That's crazy. Anyways, I'll get the 3rd goat house done. I do all kinds of shit, build all kinds of weird stuff. That's just what I do. The people come up with ideas, and I just make their dreams come true. Look at these bricks they've got stored up here to make the floor with. They got them over here too. They just come up with these ideas, and I find a way to make those ideas come true. Like that goat house, I didn't design that goat house. I designed the goat house, but he gave me the concept of what he wanted um, for his goat houses, and then I came up with a design and a structure that fit exactly what he wanted, and it's built a very specific way to his desires and wants. Would I've done it for myself the same way? Partially, partially not. But they're built like a brick shit house. I'll tell you that. I build everything. I overkill everything. Um, I don't go excessive, but I don't skimp. Um, I want it to be strong because you got to understand. I got to climb on this shit too. It's not just for you know smaller folks. If I'm gonna climb on it, I want it to be strong enough for me to climb on it. And I use screws for everything. I don't use a nail gun. We started out building with nail guns out there, but the problem with nails is they will work themselves back out, and there was times where they would work out, and I'd be concerned that they would hurt animals. So I switched very soon over to screws, and it has made all the difference. So we do everything in screws now. Um, and I can build just as quickly with screws and as I can with nail gun. I mean, nail guns are pain in the ass. The cordless nail guns they suck, and the pneumatic nail guns are heavy, and you got the air hose, and I don't know. I've just gotten so I use screws for damn near everything, unless I need to go to a nail gun. So there's times when I do go to a nail gun of some form. A lot of times with staples, I'll go to a nail gun, but I'll just use. I like using screws. I don't know why I'm even talking about this. Y'all don't care about this. What the hell is this motherfucker talking about? He done gone crazy. Here they're smoking that same shit the 6R was smoking, talking about he done lost his pants. I thought you done lost your mind. What the hell's he talking about? What show is he watching? He watching something funny on the side. Look at the water build up right there. So it's the water. That's very interesting. See, they didn't do anything to allow the water to drain off. See how it's puddling right there? That's not good. Look how tore up it looks. I mean, I don't know how the water could drain. You got I don't know the way they've designed that. That's kind of weird. They didn't really think that through very well. Okay, ooh, what we got here? Oh my, flat earth asterisks in case you need that. What fresh Luciferian hill is that? Bum bum bum. That's pretty cool. Homeboy chilling here. This is a cool room. Man. I mean, that ain't temporary. That is well built. To me, that is well built. I'm sorry. Call it temporary all we want to. There's nothing stopping that from lasting a long time. I think that stuff would still be here today if they had done the outsides in brick and stone. Oh wow, look at them gates. You know, if you take anything from what I'm doing here, I just hope you take away a new appreciation for architecture in a time gone by. If that's all you take from what I'm doing here, I'm okay with that, because I'll take that from here. I'm right here with you guys, looking at this stuff, enjoying it, and like, it brings a smile to my face. Just, you know, I know you guys know that feeling when like something comes across your uh, X feed or your Instagram feed or your YouTube, where you see a building or structure that you've never seen before, and it's just like so amazing, and you just mouth drops open, and you're just like, oh my god, that's cool. Don't tell the truth. I know y'all do it. I think we all do that now. We have that appreciation now. But then you have to wonder, like, look at this dude just chilling up here, changing that arc light. They had to change those a lot. They didn't last very long. You know, you have to wonder, um, you know, these people had to understand how beautiful these structures were, this architecture, and maybe not the World's Fair being temporary, but in their cities. Okay, you have to wonder why they decided to allow brutalist architecture to take over and, you know, destroy this beautiful architecture, and not, you know, they covered over it. Why would you, why, like, did you just at some point lose your eyeballs? Or, I mean, did everybody start dropping DMT tablets? I mean, what was going on? I mean, lateral lean for Douglas. You know, I don't know. How did we get to where we got to? It just doesn't make sense to me. Because you know they had to understand how beautiful this was. And you know they had to be looking at the new style brutalist buildings going, God, that's ugly. But then they allowed it to continue. Why? Check her out. That's wild. We've got Tusk here, Ivory Tusk. Look at those little goats pulling people around. That's weird. How weird is that? This is a very freaking strange room. Must be India or something. I don't know. I got a little Mudflood winners on this one. That's weird. And this, I think we saw this building earlier. That's their finials. There's Fred taking a break. Tighten up, Fred. Go on, go get some bricks. Oh, here we go. This is the flat Earth asterisk. Excuse me, not a flat Earth asterisk. This is the flower of life right here. That is a flower of life pattern. I told you I saw it somewhere. Look at all those people underneath the gazebo. And the idea is that the band would play up here, the sound would hit the roof, and then it would hit the roof, and then the sound waves would roll out and spread out like a speaker. It worked in the way of a speaker. And there's an example of that in a video I did about Posada de Sol. It was one of my earlier videos about a Mexican hotel. It's got a very dark history, but they had a room that was designed with that art, that sound architecture. I believe it was a form of Antiquitech. And not all Antiquitech was, you know, lights and gadgets kind of thing. You know, it was, some of it was simple, like tricks, things that they did that we don't understand today. And that's one of them. and it's very interesting. That I highly recommend that video. I think it's that is a very that place has a very interesting past. It's a very dark past. It has a very dark history, but I think something seriously, like I think it's definitely just go check it out. Um, I don't remember the name of it, but I think it's called Slint Does a Gig at Posada del Sol. I think that's what the video is called. Slint being a band, and I put music of Slint to it. If you've ever heard of Slint, you music lovers out there like Morgan there would know about Slint. Old school. They only made one album, but it was really fucking good. Anyways, not all the good shit went on the radio. You know what I mean? Flat Earth asterisks everywhere. How's it going, Morgan? Interesting. I'm having trouble seeing your name, Doctor Backaswards. I love it. That's funny. I like that name. That's great. I saw one the other day. It was called Woke Donkey Hole. That one cracked me up. Anyways, he's saying the construction photos are actually deconstruction photos. That is a very interesting way of looking at that. Very interesting. Although, I like the idea of that. That's interesting. Although I think the official history of this particular World's Fair was that they burned it to the ground. If I'm not mistaken, don't hold me to that, but that is an interesting idea. Maybe they went in and deconstructed portions, or I don't know. Police telegraph. Wow. I'm gonna call the police on the telegraph. Yes, I'm being killed. Send help fast. Yes, there's 43 murderers. Please send help fast. Like, seriously? Okay, that was bad. Sorry. I'll pass. Moving on. It's getting late. And it gets a little bit squirrely. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I have no idea how many of these we've gone through. I definitely need to get through them, though. I just don't know where I'm at. Let's see. Let me. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. We are way. I tell you what, that's a good place. I tell you what, let's stop there. I think there's just too many to keep going. We'll pick this up another time on another Sunday, and we'll continue on with that. It is getting late. We've been going a while now, and I don't want to keep going too much longer because I do have to work tomorrow. So, did y'all have any questions as we're coming to a close here tonight, ladies and gentle weirds? Sig, are you wearing pants, Sig? Ooh, you went to the restroom. No tinkle tower for you. How's it going, everybody? You know, here we go here. You know what? I'm 53 years old. A couple years ago, I was in such bad health that I almost died, and I'm actually much better today. And yes, I am a big boy. I've always been a big boy, and thank you for shaming me for my looks. Um, I don't know what you look like, but you sound like a fucking dickhead pussy, and you can suck my fucking dick, you fucking pansy ass cunt. Fuck you. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Burt Monroe, the host? You know what the host has? The host has, you know, things that can I just tell you to go fuck yourself? Take that. You know, I got a zero tolerance policy for shitty people. There's no reason to, you know, it's one thing to jokingly talk shit, but when you talk shit to people when you don't know their history or why they look the way they look, you know, you can fucking eat the fucking peanuts out of my fucking ass. Take your shit and go fuck yourself. I bet you're a pansy ass little shit living in your mama's basement, sucking your daddy's fucking ding-a-ling. Go fuck yourself. Okay, now moving on. Anybody else have some questions? Hello? Hello? We keep it real up in here. I don't mind people picking on me. Dude, I've been, you know, I learned a long time ago, you know, when I was younger, you know, kids would pick on me because I was a big boy and they thought they could push me. But I got in trouble one time because a kid, we used to go to this skateboard shop. I used to love to go there. Easy Time Skateboards. It was the only, we had several skateboard shops, but this was the one I could actually skateboard to. And I love skateboarding. And we went up there one day. There was a kid, I don't remember his name. Probably could remember if I thought about it for a bit. But this kid was picking on me because I was big. And so I punched him in the fucking nose, broke his nose, and when I hit him, he flew through the air backwards and went through a clothes rack and broke the clothes rack. And I got banned from the skateboard shop. And that taught me right then and there that reacting by beating the shit out of somebody is a bad way to react, because then you lose something that you care about. When I cared about going to hang out at the skateboard shop, that was important to me at the time. So I learned a long time ago to take that with a grain of salt. But you know, you can talk all the shit you want to here. I've been called every name under the sun. You can call me cunt, fuck. I don't care what you call me. But you know, to come in here and try to degrade me when you don't know my situation, and you know, talk down to me after I've fought really hard to stay alive, well, that gets you blocked. That you can go fuck yourself. That you can go, you know, die. I don't fucking care. See, I'm love and light, but I give you a healthy dose of fuck around and find out. So that's where we're at. Do. How you doing, Isabel? What's up, Morgan? Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, yeah. It keyboard pirates. They just, people these days, you know, they don't realize that hiding behind a keyboard is safe. Um, in the real world, you don't talk to people that way, because people like me, I'm Gen X, we will fucking hurt you. That's not something that you say to a man in today's, you know, day and age, or back in the day. It's like the Wayback Machine, like Brian Harpo was talking about. I know what the Wayback Machine does. I know how that works. But I'm glad to be alive too. And I was very close to not being alive. So I had to fight back. I got sick. I got sick very quickly, and because I got sick, I had to quit working because I couldn't work. I couldn't get health care. I couldn't pay for the health care I needed. And so I got sicker and sicker and sicker, and I was just, I couldn't help myself. And I was just getting really bad. And then God sent me help, and I got out of it, and got better. And I have worked really hard to bring my health back. I had a lot of trouble with blood pressure. I was real sick. If you go back and watch my old videos, you can see it. You can see how sick I was. But that's a time gone past. Thank goodness. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I've been called. I've literally. You can't name a name I haven't been called. It's sticks and stones can break my bones. But I think it's wrong if like anybody comes to you and they talk down to you, like trying to like, they don't know you. They don't know your situation. They don't know your health problems, and they talk. It's like, it's just, we're all not perfect. You show me a perfect person, I'll show you a liar. None of us are perfect. I'm a big boy. I'm 6'3", 275 pounds. I'm a big boy. I've always been a big boy. I'm never going to be a skinny little fucker. It ain't going to happen. It's just, I'm big. I've always been big. And I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't care what you think. But coming up here and talking shit for no fucking reason, you ain't got the balls to fucking come, like, look me in the eye and say that? Pussy. Fucking little faggy boy. Little fucking sissy fucker.
I'm a little sissy cuck. I watch this, mommy. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna talk shit to BEAGS. Cause he baby, watch this. Look, I'm gonna get him. I got him. Good grace, I got him, mommy. Mommy, I got him. I got him so good.
What'd you get? What'd you get? You got blocked. What do you got now? What did you accomplish, you dumb fuck? I mean, you could think about it, man. You could have come on the show and you could have talked to me about it. You could have come and said that to my face. And you would have maybe felt a little better about yourself. And then we could see what kind of sissy cook fuck you are. I don't give a fuck. All right. Coming soon, Mudflood Flash Mob. Y'all gear up. Get your cams and mics ready, and whatever you got. Get your gear on your end. Make sure you follow the rules. I'll post the rules on the comments before the show, and we'll try to do that this week. So I hope some of you come and talk to me, and we'll hang out, and we'll hear what you have to say for a change. All right. We will see you very soon. Love, BEAGS.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
No. It's a mystery wrapped in a riddle inside an enigma. Don't you get it?
Say woof again! Say woof again!
I've got one that can see.
Welcome to the underground.
This is my kung fu, and it is strong.
See you later.